Hey boy, how y'all doing? I am Nic Rattlehead. That is
Matt, the Graff.
Hey, and we would like to collectively welcome you to Aftershock Reviews, a place where you can get the most dope music reviews around, man, on extreme music, hardcore music, R&B music, hip-hop music, but today we're going to focus on the hardcore, and today we're going to focus on the group Year of the Knife and their album Ultimate Aggression that came out this year in February. Matt, let me tell you something. This is a great album. So do you like hardcore? Do you listen to a lot of hardcore?
No.
Oh, not really? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm cool with it. I like it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to always say, like, it's, like, up here, but I do enjoy me a good hardcore album, Matt. Whether we're talking about the Vane album from last year, or whether we're talking about the Jesus Peace album that came out last year as well, or we're talking about Harm's Way or Code Orange, I do enjoy really good, especially the Code Orange. I really do enjoy me a good hardcore album, and this fits the bill to a T, because all it is, Matt, I kid you not, it's just straight on full bore, full roar, fully intense hardcore. And like, the great thing about it is they're not really doing so much in the way of experimentation, like a Harm's Way or a Code Orange will, where they incorporate some type of noise and samples and things of that nature to create the atmosphere. No, it is the music itself that creates the brutish atmosphere. Let's just go ahead, pump the brakes real quick, and let's talk about the band. The band is comprised of 5 members, okay? Check this out. It is Brandon and Madison Watkins. Brandon is on vocals. His wife, Madison, is on bass. I'm like, that's dope. A husband and wife type of thing in a hardcore band. Awesome. I would love that. You know what I mean?
Warning, 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 warning.
If there's any ladies out there that want to, you know what I mean, we can do Aftershock Reviews together, I'm just saying. Also, we have Tyler Mullen on guitars as well. And then this is where it gets a little tricky trying to pronounce his name. So we have twin brothers here as well. So this is a big family act, right? Andrew and Aaron Kieselowski. I'm not going to try and butcher it even more than what I'm doing there. I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'll just call them Andrew and Aaron from here on in, okay? Andrew runs the drums. Aaron, also with Tyler, runs the guitars. Matt, they do a masterful job at taking what is known for good hardcore and just amping it up and turning it up to 10 and then stamping their name on it and then pushing it out there in Ultimate Aggression. Now, they are a straight edge band. So you know what straight edge means, right, Matt? Mm-hmm. Okay, bet. So for anybody out there who doesn't know, straight edge means that, you know, they don't do drugs, live a lifestyle where they don't do drugs, they don't do alcohol, they don't smoke, anything like that, right? But there's a reason for them on this one. Multiple members of the band, whether we're talking about Madison or we're talking about Brandon, have watched loved ones and friends succumb to drug addictions, like pills and alcohol and things of that nature. Like even Brandon had like some friends who died due to drug abuse, right? And he had to watch, and he literally watched his friends deteriorate. For them, especially if we're talking about Brandon here, he made a choice to be like, you know what, that's not gonna be me. I'm gonna use my voice and adopt this straight edge lifestyle, right? And then also vent that frustration, vent what he saw through the music. Same thing with Madison, who watched her parents struggle with pill and alcohol abuse, right? So you'll hear a lot of that aggression that is normally found in hardcore pointed in that direction. Now, I'm not saying it's just all about, you know, straight edge, and you know what I mean? Like, they're also, yet again, taking cues from normal hardcore, where they're also talking about the political climate, where they're also talking about, it's almost a camaraderie type of thing most of the time as well. A lot of these things find themselves incorporated into Ultimate Aggression, right? A lot of these things find themselves incorporated into the lyrical content of Year of the Knife. So getting into the track listing now, it opens up with YOTK, which stands for Year of the Knife. And it's a 2-minute, almost instrumental. It's awesome. It's completely awesome. But there's literally no lyrics. Brandon is screaming, YOTK! YOTK! As this pounding pulsating drum beat is going on in the background, and the bass drum is just snarling away, and the buzzsaw guitars are just gnawing and cutting like a knife through the mix. Oh yes, he's laughing. It's not a game. I'm on it today. There's nothing other than him saying YOTK. Like they're establishing who they are, right? They're establishing what you can expect from this album, right? And like I said, Brandon is doing grunts, he's growling, but it leads seamlessly, without a hiccup, into Ultimate Disease, right? And Matt, it's to the point where you might think like it's the same song. Like there's literally no indication that you went from YOTK to Ultimate Disease, right? At this point, for me, it's just the same song, right? It's not an interlude into another song. It's literally just the same song. They just, for whatever reasons, felt like splitting it up, right? And I'm not mad at it. I think it's great that they did it, but I know some people don't necessarily care for the fact that you can't tell where a song starts and a song begins. And if that's the case, you might not necessarily care for this. But if you're cool with this, if you're cool with that full of hell, trumpeting ecstasy approach where like it feels like an endless torture chamber, oh bruh, this is gonna be right down your alley. And I'm telling you right now, if you can't tell by the look on my face, it was right down mine. Matt, it was great. And the thing about it is it has breakdowns. So it's just address the big elephant in the room. Some people are like, hardcore, here we go. It's going to be a whole bunch of just needless yelling and predictable breakdowns. But here it is, Matt. Yes, I will admit it. I will admit it. The breakdowns are predictable. You can see them telegraphed from 50 miles away. But here's the kicker, though. Here's why I have no problems with it whatsoever. It's because they earned them. The riffs are so catchy and the riffs are so good and chunky and brutish that it does a good job of building you up. It does a good job of spiking the adrenaline in the air. It does a good job of pumping you up to the point where when you see that breakdown coming, it's just building the anticipation, and then it drops and you're like, yes, run it. And then you just start begging. Look, I'm telling you right now, there are at least 3 songs out of all of these. Now, songs like FRM are insanely great, and Lucky Day, insanely great. But there are 3 songs in particular: Fatal, Blue Lies, and Evil. Matt, now each one of these contain just gnarly, just a flipping gut punch of a breakdown. But I'm telling you though, it's the way the song is structured that you're cool with the breakdown happening. You don't roll your eyes. Now we're talking about Fatal, right? Now Fatal is just this, it's a critique of what us as the human race have done to ourselves. We're almost painted as a disease, man. We're almost painted like, what is it The Rock said? A boil on the buttocks of the rock. We are a boil on the buttocks of the earth, right? And now at this point, we are reaping what we have sown. All this corruption, all this hate, all this violence, we're getting now the fruits of that. We're getting the harvest of that now. And everything that we get, we deserve. No better for us, right? And Matt, it's amazing. And check this out. So he's screaming at the end. He's like, this is what you want. This is what you get. A world left in regret. Matt, woo! He's just saying, this is what you want. This is what you get. It's like, yo, yes. Because in hardcore, you're venting frustrations, right? You see what I mean? You are letting it hang out for all intents and purposes, right? In a mosh pit filled with people doing the exact thing right along there with you. And Matt, I'm telling you right now, because of the production, because of the way the producer has chosen to attack this album, it feels very condensed and it feels very claustrophobic to the point where while you're listening to the album, you can almost see the mosh pit happening around you. You can almost see Brandon up on stage with Madison and Aaron and Andrew and Tyler ripping it as everybody else around you is throwing elbows and pushing and shoving and letting their frustrations about the political climate, about the social infrastructure, about what we've been doing to ourselves as a society, and they're just doing it right along there with you. Man, it's awesome. It's amazing, right? And then let's talk about Blue Lies real quick. Blue Lies is a scathing critique about the Blue Lives Matter movement. So you remember what that is, right? Where it was a complete reaction to the Black Lives Matter movement. And Year of the Knife have spoken out against that, which I respect the heck of, by the way, where they're like, yo, you guys are missing the point about this, and all you're doing at this point also is using it as an excuse to cover up lies and police brutality towards minorities and things of that nature, and it's messed up. It's completely stupid. And Matt, I'm telling you right now, like, yet again, it's one of those situations where a lot of these metal artists don't necessarily try to provide an answer, but instead raise awareness about what's going on here, and then letting you find your own answer on how to address that particular injustice, if that makes sense, right? And here, they're doing a masterful job of it. And that noble sentiment is just set and juxtaposed to this horse of a drum beat, this horse of this guitar riff, this horse, man, that bass, Madison's bass snarls. Ugh, damn! It snarls. Oh, man, it's good. It is good stuff. And then Matt, Evil. So Evil, yet again, let's go back to the whole straight edge type of thing, right? Evil, to me, now I'm not necessarily sure if this is true of the track, but to me, Evil is a track that addresses loss due to drug abuse. To me, I think the evil at this point is probably the drugs themselves, the hopelessness and the almost helplessness of drug addiction, right? The depression of being in it, and also probably even, and although they don't address it really directly in this track, but probably even the people who manufacture them. It's let me read this chorus to you, right? And yet again, we're talking about hardcore, so we're talking about choruses that they're not intricate. They're not going to be poetic, and it's literally straight to the point. It's cutting through this issue like a knife. Ooh, it's not a game. So the chorus goes like, under the flesh, what you put in your blood, it's evil. There's no coming back. No one gets out alive. Evil. I can't take another loss. Evil. Under the flesh, in your blood, it's evil. You see what I mean? The drugs, all that crap, it's evil. The attitude that goes along with it, it's evil. These type of things that you do to yourself when you're ingesting these toxins, poisons, evil. Matt, it's good. When you really strip it back and it's hard to strip something back that's already so meat and potatoes, but when you really stop and like kind of almost tune out the buzzsaw guitars, but get the whole emotional sentiment of what's going on here, it's magnificent. Magnificent. And yet again, even when you're looking at the album cover, are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, even when you're looking at the album cover itself is almost painting the picture to you as well, where they have the pills on the album cover, they have multiple knives on the album cover, you see what I mean? And like, it even looks like, I don't know if it's like a Mary statue or whatever else, but it's also pointing the finger at organized religion. This is one of those albums yet again, and it's already starting in 2019 is off to a really great start with Ossuarium and now this. It's magnificent, right? It's great. It's completely great. The name of the album, yet again, if you don't know, if I haven't said it a million times now already, it's called Ultimate Aggression by Year of the Knife. Go check it out. Go check it out. You can stream it on Apple Music. You can stream it on Spotify. You might be even able to stream it on Bandcamp. Not necessarily sure. Also, we're going to be finally getting a chance to cover, Matt, Pissgrave's new album. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to say that name for a good full-blown 10 minutes. That's going to be great. Pissgrave, Matt. Pissgrave, Matt. Yeah, buddy. And then on top of that, there's another album, and I'm actually very excited about this since we're still in the vein of hardcore, Hate Force. So the lead singer from Harm's Way has another project called Hate Force, and it's a death metal album. But Matt, it has so many different elements that make Harm's Way incorporated into the album. It's fun. It's fun stuff. It's fun stuff. Can't wait to talk about it. I am Nic Rattlehead. He is
Graff.
Nic Graff. My man's master plan with $100 grand,
I wish
not
I
a
had
game.
100 grand.
I wish I had $100 grand too, bro. What you saying? I would be like, hey, yo, student loans, get on my face, bro. Not a game. But you guys don't forget to like and subscribe to this video and subscribe to our channel as well. Hit the little bell so you'll be notified every time we drop a new review. Also, we have links to our social media in the bottom in the description. Check those out. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. But until then, we love y'all. We here for y'all. Peace.
Bye.